The day I met Jesus was the same day I was ready to end my life.
I really related to a lot of the things she was going through in terms of trying to figure out what the point of all of this is. Hello, I'm Liz Tabish, and we're going behind the scenes of The Chosen.
I want to start with Mary Magdalene's story. What resonated most about her story with you, and what parts kind of still translate in today's world?
I mean, for me, it was the second I read the audition, before I even booked the role, I was pretty excited and astounded at the way she was written. You know, we know certain things about her from the Gospels, but then there's been so much speculation as well. But I had never seen her depicted with this backstory that leads up to who she is, as we know her. When we first meet her in season 1, she's possessed by demons. She's struggling with addiction and suicide, and she has PTSD from an assault from a Roman soldier. And there's a lot of issues that she's struggling with that I think a lot of modern audiences can relate to. This isn't just like this saint who is on a stained glass window. She is very real and very raw. And I love that they portrayed her, and they start the entire show off with her story and showing how she transforms after she meets Jesus. But when I read the script, I really related to a lot of the things she was going through in terms of her emotional state, a certain despair, a certain depression, and real struggle of trying to figure out what the point of all of this is and how to get out of hell that you're sort of caught in. And so I love that her story ends up not being a tragedy at all, and that there is so much hope and redemption in her story.
I forgive you. It's over.
Is it a more serious and focused set, or is it relaxed and playful? What kind of balance is there?
It is overwhelmingly playful, I would say. Dallas Jenkins has such a great sense of humor, and all of the actors are really fun and funny and clever, and we keep the mood pretty light. And then there are certain moments on set where the scene is just so devastating and so serious that it's inappropriate to be giggling or to be laughing. And so I think there's a really nice balance of reading the room and knowing when an actor really needs space and time to focus, and then also when it's time to lighten up and to let everyone know that you're okay. And yeah, I think everyone cares so much about these stories and about these characters that we are all kind of hypersensitive to each other and what the others need. So it's really dependent on the day of. I don't know if I want to share that. It's funny. It's so weird. In season 4, there's this scene where Jesus gets this message that Lazarus has died, and the whole group is there. We all are drenched from swimming across a pond, and it's just a very intense, dramatic moment. And it's the first time Jesus is sharing this news that Lazarus has died. So very tense, very sad, and very focused. And there's a horse that comes out that's outside of the inn that we're staying in. And so it's a close-up on Jonathan, and he's in the moment, and it's so beautiful and heartbreaking. And then in that silence, we just hear the longest whiz from the horse that just there's no coming back from that. There's no way that we just all broke character and we're laughing.
What's the process like for you getting into costume and makeup for Mary Magdalene?
It doesn't take too long. I mean, the outfit's pretty basic. It's the dress, and the biggest issue is usually the veil. And we've been putting this veil on me for, 7 years now. And every single time we put it on, it's a new challenge. For whatever reason, it's never sat on my head the same way twice, just the way we pin it. There's always some struggle with it. So that's fun. And then even on set, if the wind's blowing too much, it becomes a whole thing. But in terms of makeup, they do a really good job of doing the no makeup look, of trying to make it look like we're not wearing anything, which is pretty hard and impressive when you do it. And just, natural skin texture. We've started filming season 6, and there's definitely a little bit more dirt and sweat. And so that's fun. Just They use vitamin E for the sweat, which is really good for your skin. So no complaints there. We just did an overnight shoot and it felt like we were just like zipping through the coverage. And we're like, we're going to get out of here like by 3 a.m. versus, 6 a.m. I'm like, this is going so fast. We can do this. This is going to, we were so confident that we always take the right amount of time per scene, and it's always amazing to see how many people are working on making these shots just incredible and beautiful and cohesive. And just every time the camera turns, like it's a whole world that's being built within minutes, within the hour. You do one scene and you're seeing all of the camera equipment and lighting and everything. And then in half an hour, you come back on set and everything's changed and the other side of the world is all complete. And it's incredible. And they work so fast and we get so much done. But even when I feel like we're over, compensating, we take our time.
Who on set makes you laugh the most or helps keep things light?
Jordan Ross always makes me laugh. His sense of humor, I think like from the time we met in season 1, he reminded me of my brother, and like his sense of humor is just so familiar. And also Jonathan is absolutely hilarious, but on set sometimes we can't joke as much.
Every single time, every single time.
What was your favorite moment on an off day from filming?
I have so many. We get to shoot in Utah, in Goshen. And so we stay in Provo, and there we're like 15, 20 minutes away from the Sundance Resort. And there have been so many incredible experiences there. My husband and I would go to the plays that they've had during the summer. We saw Sound of Music, and they have concerts there, and just like taking hikes and being out in nature and these beautiful mountains and trees. And there's a lot to do whenever we're in Utah. And then in Texas, there's a lot of driving, shopping. We find things to do. Yeah.
Have you kept any props from set?
I don't think so, but I'd like to.
What would you like to keep?
Well, I'd love to, like, after everything's said and done, I'd love to keep my veil, my eternal struggle, the veil. And yeah, Mary doesn't have any like jewelry or anything, but I'm good with not taking my sandals. Those are not my style. Yeah, I mean, we don't have that many props. We're like, we're nomads. So we like have a bag, and I just have tissues in there and chapstick. So
Thank you for Go for it. Okay. No, you go ahead. Okay. You first. Me first? Yes, you.
Who broke character the most during serious and tense scenes?
I'd say a group of us. There was a scene in season 3, I believe, where it was a big group scene. Me and Paris and Lotta and Amber were all walking in the back of this group, and someone said something, probably not going to say what it is. And we all got the giggles so hard, we had to, while the camera was on us, but we were like in the crowd, so we knew we could kind of hide. We all had to duck down because we were laughing so hard. I'm going to lose my job. Yeah, we just like could not keep it together. And I've tried so hard since then of just like no jokes before we roll. I need to be serious. I need to focus. Yeah, no, that's just one of many instances.
What was your go-to snack at craft services?
I like protein snacks. So cheese, meat, pickles. Sometimes when it's really, really hot and we're all about to pass out, they give us pickle shots. So it's just pickle juice. And we just take a little electrolyte, shot. Kind of gross, kind of good.
What's something you always bring to set?
My sunglasses, I tuck away in my bag. My eyes are really sensitive, and I just, when it's so bright outside, I need to, it's not to look cool or anything. It's because I'm sensitive.
What's the longest you ever had to wait in costume between scenes, and what did you do to pass the time?
I remember season 2, we filmed like during the winter in Texas, and there was this terrible winter storm, and we did this Sermon on the Mount, and there was a lot of time in between setup, but we were frozen, we were freezing. But we also had like thousands of extras who were so happy to be there. So I had to remind myself to not complain. And we would just gather around this little heater thing and just try not to freeze. I don't really remember what we do. I think we just try to stay alive.
Finally, the last one I want to wrap up with is, if there was a behind the scenes blooper reel of just your moments, what would be on it?
Me stumbling through a line, me saying things a little wrong, or I think probably that. I try not to break character. I try not to get the giggles while we're filming. Yeah, just me saying things weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Liz, thank you so much for your time. This was really amazing. I loved learning all about, the behind the scenes stuff of The Chosen and your character as well. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.